6.1.25. Suppose a life insurance company sells a $120,000 one-year term life insurance policy to an 18-year-old female for $150. The probability that the female survives the year is 0.999356. We want to be able to compute and interpret the expected value of this policy to the insurance company. Now, because the mean of a random variable represents what is expected to happen in the long run, the mean of a random variable is also called the expected value. There are two possible outcomes to the experiment: survival or death. So we're going to let the random variable x represent the payout, which is the money lost or gained, depending on survival or death of the insured. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a table. Okay, so we have x, which is the random variable, and then we're going to have p of x, or p of whatever the event is for x. Okay, so the two events that we have are either survive or dies. Okay, so what do we know about the probability of the female surviving? Well, it's given in the problem, and we know that it's the number 0.999356. Okay, and then what we want to be able to do is determine, okay, what is the probability of the probability of dies? So what we have to do is, in order to figure that out, since there's only two possibilities, well, in order to figure out the probability of the event of when the person dies, well, we know that the sum of the probabilities has to be 1. So if we're looking for this number here, we're going to take 1 and then subtract the previous probability, which is 0.999356. So if we subtract that, we end up getting the probability 0.000644. So now we know what the probability is, so we can erase this probability and now put in the probability that we just got. So the probability of the person that dies is going to be 0.000644. Okay, and so now what we want to do is we want to be able to determine the payout for each probability. Now, from the point of view of the insurance company, if the client survives the year, the insurance company makes $150. Therefore, we're going to let x equal $150. That's if the client survives the year. So now we can then create our next probability distribution. So instead of writing survive, we know that in order to survive, that means that the company is going to pay $150. So $150 represents the survive, which is the probability of 0.999356. Now, if the client dies during the year, the insurance company must pay $120,000 to the client's beneficiary. However, the company still keeps the $150. So in order to figure out the value of x of dies, then we're going to take the $150 and then we're going to subtract the $120,000 from the life insurance policy. And so when we subtract that, it's going to give us negative $119,850. So the probability now x becomes here negative 119,850, and that probability is 0.000644. So now the value is negative because it is money paid out by the insurance company. Okay? Now, in order for us to obtain the mean or the expected value of the policy, we're going to substitute these values into the formula to find the mean. And recall that the formula for the mean is equal to the sum of x times the probability. So what we're going to do now is, in order to find the mean, it's going to equal x, which we have $150, and we're going to multiply it by its probability, which is 0.999356, plus then we're going to take the value of x, which is negative 119,850, and we're going to multiply that by the probability of 0.00644. So when we multiply and add those together, we get 149.90, and that's going to be plus negative 77.18, and therefore we're going to get $72.72. So what does this tell us? Well, this tells us that the insurance company expects to make an average profit of $72.72 on every 18-year-old female it insures for 1 year.